When Ejiro returned home and saw the mess, she exploded. "You can't even keep this place clean," she yelled, grabbing another glass of water and pouring it over him in a fit of rage. "You're so useless, you know that, right? A good-for-nothing man." Once upon a time in the vibrant city of Lagos, Uche and Ejiro stood before their family and friends, exchanging wedding vows, filled with promises of love and loyalty. Their journey had been marked by the most unexpected beginnings. Ejiro and Uche met by chance in a local library, where Uche, noticing Ejiro's distress over a forgotten wallet, offered to pay her overdue fee. His small act of kindness left a lasting impression, and soon, they got attracted to each other and fell in love. On this important day, they pledged their lives to each other, sealing their love with smiles that could light up the darkest of nights. After the celebrations, they returned to their new home, exhausted yet exhilarated, ready to embrace their future together. But just as they settled in, sharing their first quiet moments as husband and wife, Uche suddenly felt a sharp pain in his legs. His face twisted in agony, and, in the presence of Ejiro, he collapsed on the floor, unconsciously. Panic surged through Ejiro as she frantically called for help, her happiness shattering like glass. Within minutes, Uche was rushed to the hospital at that moment, slipping into a coma that left Ejiro in a state of helpless despair. For a week, she clung to hope, refusing to leave his side, her heart breaking with each passing day. When Uche finally opened his eyes, the first face he saw was Ejiro's. Her eyes red from sleepless nights and silent tears. Relief washed over them both. But their joy did not last. The doctor, with a grave expression, informed Uche that he had suffered irreversible nerve damage in his legs. He would likely never walk again. The news fell like a heavy weight on both of them, and Uche's heart shattered as he imagined the life he'd envisioned with Ejiro slipping away. Returning home in a wheelchair felt like the ultimate defeat. For the first month, Ejiro was a dutiful wife who cared for her husband, helping Uche with every aspect of his life, bathing him, preparing his meals, even adjusting his position in bed. But the weight of these responsibilities soon took a toll on her. As time went on, she began to distance herself from her husband, often leaving Uche alone for hours, saying she needed time to herself. Uche, sensing her growing resentment, tried to reassure her, but the chasm between them only deepened. One evening, Ejiro returned home later than usual, her clothes wrecked with alcohol, when she'd gone into the room. Uche, feeling a pang of unease, asked where she'd been. Ejiro looked at him, her eyes cold and unreadable. "Why do you care?" she snapped. "I'm doing everything for you while my own life is slipping away. Maybe I need a break from playing nursemaid." Her words stung, but Uche kept silent, swallowing his pain. Over time, Ejiro's outbursts became more frequent, her patience with him got thinner each day. The caring woman he once knew seemed to have vanished, replaced by someone who saw him as a burden, a man no longer worthy of her love or respect. As the weeks wore on, her neglect turned to outright cruelty. She began to withhold his meals, often leaving him alone in the house with nothing to eat or drink. Uche would sit in his wheelchair, hungry and disheartened, his spirit eroded by her indifference. One day, as he tried to reach a glass of water on a high shelf, he accidentally spilled it on the floor. When Ejiro returned home and saw the mess, she exploded. "You can't even keep this place clean," she yelled, grabbing another glass of water and pouring it over him in a fit of rage. "You're so useless, you know that, right? A good-for-nothing man." The humiliation was unbearable. Uche sat drenched, unable to defend himself or escape her wrath. But still, he held on to hope, praying that one day, the woman he loved would return to him. Unfortunately, her cruelty only worsened. She began to spend nights out, coming home smelling of strange cologne, her eyes filled with a cold unconcern that crushed any hope Uche had left. She refused to help him bathe, leaving him to struggle alone, his body aching from the effort. His once cheerful spirit grew dim, and he began to feel like a shadow in his own home. One afternoon, Ejiro's childhood friend, Ada, visited unexpectedly. When she saw the state Uche was in, weak, disheveled, and emotionally drained, her heart broke. She pulled Ejiro aside, her voice filled with shock and disbelief. "What are you doing to him, Ejiro? This isn't the man you married. You promised to love him, to care for him no matter what." Ejiro scoffed, dismissing her friend's concern. "Love? Care? Look at him. He's nothing but a burden. Do you expect me to throw away my life for a cripple?" Sarah was horrified, but she refused to abandon Uche. She began to visit them regularly, bringing him food and helping him with his daily needs. With a sympathetic smile, she encouraged him to find strength within himself, even as Ejiro continued to turn her back on him. One day, Sarah suggested he try physical therapy, telling him of a gentle but skilled therapist named Dr. Ken who might be able to help. At first, Uche was reluctant. He was used to relying on others, and the thought of exercising his damaged leg seemed hopeless. But Sarah's kindness gave him strength, and he agreed to try. The sessions were painful, each movement a reminder of his broken body. But slowly, under Dr. Ken's guidance, Uche began to regain sensation in his legs. Sarah attended every session, cheering him on, offering words of encouragement that rekindled his once dimmed hope. As Uche grew stronger, he kept his progress hidden from Ejiro, enduring her tirades in silence. She continued to berate him, unaware of the quiet transformation happening behind her. One evening, after another round of insults, Ejiro declared she was going out, leaving him alone without dinner. Uche watched her leave, his heart heavy, yet filled with a newfound resolve. He would not let her break him any longer. After months of therapy, Uche could finally stand on his own. His steps were slow and unsteady, but each one was a victory. Meanwhile, he found a new job as a remote consultant, earning a modest income and saving every penny. As he grew stronger, he began planning his escape from the toxic life Ejiro had trapped him in. One day, Ejiro came home to find Uche standing by the window, his back to her. She gasped, her eyes widening as she realized what he was doing. You can walk," she stammered, her voice filled with shock. "Yes," he replied calmly, turning to face her. "I can walk, Ejiro. I found strength in spite of you." Desperation flooded her face as she fell to her knees, begging him to forgive her, to give their marriage another chance. But Uche's heart had grown wise, fortified by months of suffering and self-discovery. "You abandoned me when I needed you most," he said, his voice steady and resolute. "I don't need you anymore. I've found my strength, and it has nothing to do with you." With those words, he gathered his belongings, leaving behind the home that had once been a sanctuary but had turned into a prison. As he walked out, he felt a weight lift from his soul, replaced by a freedom he hadn't known in years. Today, Uche lives a peaceful life, surrounded by friends who value and respect him. Sarah remains by his side, her unwavering kindness a reminder of the resilience he found in himself. And while his heart carries the scars of betrayal, he knows he is stronger for it. He's learned that true love is not bound by promises or vows, but by loyalty and compassion. As for Ejiro, she's left with nothing but memories of the man she once had and the cruelty that drove him away. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe to my channel and turn on notifications so you never miss an exciting new story. Your support means a lot, and I look forward to sharing more captivating tales with you. See you in the next video.